Morning. Is it morning? I don't know. Alright, boom. So far, it's my favorite class of time. I want it. Hindi mo na. So far. I like the energy of the class. Hopefully. Alright, morning everybody. Welcome to your second session. We are going to be moving on to something new. Not something new, it's going to continue. And we completed operations with integers last class. Owing and having. Anybody have any concerns? Cool. Remember, we're going to need this as we go along, so don't forget it. Alright? Today we're going to be looking at operations with integers. Sorry. Oh my god. My brain's freezing. We're going to be looking at order of morning. We're going to be looking at order of operations. Order of operations. So nothing that you learned in the last, everything that you learned in the last class, we're not going to use it all the time, but it's going to pop up now and again. So don't forget your O and R technique, okay? It's going to be very useful. We're going to be moving on to the next level, which is to learn the order of operations. I'm sure that some of you guys are familiar with the term PEMDAS.
Yes.
You've heard it before?
Yes.
Beautiful. Right. PEMDAS and all the other ones that are affiliated with it. PEMDAS, PEMDAS, GEMDAS, BIMDAS, they're all the same. It's just different people chooses to use different mnemonics to help their students to understand the concept. The one that I prefer and I've been using for a while now is PEMDAS. Okay? So we're going to be looking at PEMDAS. Okay? We're going to be looking at what these initial mean and how they are used in math. Okay? Now, everything in math is important. Everything. But there's just some things that takes precedence. There's just some things that follows you everywhere. This here follows you everywhere in math. Meaning in fractions, PEMDAS is a requirement. Decimals, PEMDAS is a requirement. And in whole numbers like what we're going to be doing now, PEMDAS is a requirement. Now, we know the four operations in math is to add, multiply, subtract, and divide. We established that. Okay? But there is a specific order in which these must be done. Now we all know that math is supposed to be worked, or you're supposed to evaluate a problem from the left side of the problem to the right side. But there are going to be some situations where you may have to go into the middle, go back to the front, and then go back to the end. Or you have to start at the end, go back to the front, come in the middle. So it's going to be a little bit mixed up. And in order for us to know which operation should be done first, we have to follow the exact order of PEMDAS. Now let's look at what initial means. The P stands for parentheses. That is PARENTHESES, and it's what is most commonly referred to as brackets. Okay? So it's this thing right here. Alright? The E stands for exponent, which we more commonly call powers, raising a number to a power. And it looks like, say for example, 2 to the power of 3. In a second, I'm going to let you know what that means. Alright, that's an example. Well, obviously the M, the D, the A, and the S stands for our four main operations, which is M stands for multiplication, D D stands for division, SA stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. And so given a math problem, an arithmetic problem that contains 4 or more of these signs, you have to follow an exact order. Okay? I'm going to be looking at about 10 fundamental examples that will build us up to what we really want to achieve in this class, at the end of this class. Okay? Now, before we actually go into the working out, we need to have a discussion, just a brief discussion about these two people right here. M and D, A and S.
They're the opposite of each other.
They're the opposite of each other, and most importantly, they are tied for priority. Okay? What do I mean by tied for priority?
It's a must.
It's a must. Not quite. Not quite. M and D are tied for priority, meaning that I use the common phrase, first come, first serve. It means that in a question that contains multiplication and division, it means that whichever one you see first, it you have to do first. And it means that when I say whichever one you see first, whichever one appears on the left, that's the one you're going to do first. That's funny. I still don't understand what you mean. Let's look at an example. An example is a perfect way to get the understanding of this. Example number 1. We have 9 multiplied by 4 divided by 6. Very easy math problem. Anybody can do this. So we know according to this order, M comes before D. So it's obvious that we're going to multiply, then we are going to divide. So 9 multiplied by 4 is 36, and 36 followed by division by 6 gives us 6. Very basic. No heartache, easy maths. Here's where the trick comes in now. We have 12 divided by 3 multiplied by 4. Now, most of you guys are going to remember this in your mind, PEMDAS. And you're going to imprint in your mind that it is always M followed by D. It's always M followed by D. I can do this now? Oh, my lord. It's extra work. So that we can. I don't even want to do it. It's crazy. Our time is it's 8 something. 8. No matter. 8:35. So say go. Oh, it's not gonna track it again now. Alright. So we have 12 divided by 3 multiplied by 4. Now, listen carefully. At no given point did I ever say you have to always do M then D. That's not always the situation. Even though it is showing you here that M comes before D, there are going to be situations where you have to divide before you multiply. For example, here, if you try to multiply first, you're going to get an incorrect result. You're going to get a result, but it's just going to be incorrect. Because M and D are tied for priority, in the question, D appeared before M, and once that happens, you have to divide, then you're going to multiply. So here, in this example, I am forced to divide, then multiply, which in this case, 12 divided by 3 is what? 4, and 4 multiplied by 4 is equal to 16. Right? When you do it the other way, 3 times 4 is 12. But 12 divided by 12 is 1. So you won't get that answer. Pardon me?
I work them out both ways.
Right, but only one is correct. Okay? Now if you were to type this into your calculator, right, it's going to tell you that the answer is 16. Alright? So what I'm trying to emphasize to you here, guys, is it is not M then D. That's not the rule. It is M or D. or meaning that whichever one appears in the question on the left first, that's the one you do first. And that only happens when it's M or D, A or S. Okay? Let's look at some examples now with A or S. Let's look at, say here, number 3. We have 15 plus 3 take away 10. Very simple math problem. Anybody can do this. Alright? Doing it is not the point I'm trying to emphasize. It's following a specific rule. So that when you get an advanced question later on, you know exactly what to do before what. So in this case, very simple, we're going to add followed by, we're going to subtract. So 15 plus 3 is 18, and 18 take away 10 results in what? 8. And that is following this rule. A appeared before the S, so I'm going to add before I subtract. However, in example number 4 then, I'm going to write down, say here, 9 take away 7 plus 5. Something like that. So 9 take away 7 plus 5. In this example, even though in the spelling of the word PEMDAS, A appears before S, in the question, S appeared before A, so you have to subtract before you add. Okay? Because they are tied for priority. Now I did have a student in the other class that, you know, it was a little bit confusing too. I think it was a him or her, I don't remember, right? So what I did is that I used the example of A and S being 2 businessmen, right? This is the best way I can explain it. A and S, M and D are 2 businessmen. Both of them have $1 million. Both of them are important. Okay, they are both valuable customers. Now, let's say for example, me and this gentleman here, we are millionaires, we walk in the bank, right? On day number 1, me walk in first, him walk in second. 2 of we have $1 million, 2 of we are customer, 2 of we have the same value. 2 of us are tied for priority. But because we walk in the bank first, why would you want to serve him first? Because he's brown? Because he's not pretty here? No. So if me walk in before him, you have to serve me before you serve him. On the other hand, if the next day him walk in before me, you have to serve him first before you serve me. So it's the same thing with this here. If in a question, M and D are in the same question, M and D are in the same question, then if M appears before D, then you are going to multiply, then you are going to divide. On the other hand, if D appears before M, you are going to have to serve D, then you are going to serve M. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
Apart from latecomers then, obviously because you just already, is there any questions from anybody? There's no question. Alright, more. Since we have that there, so that takes care of our tied priority problems. Let's look at some examples now where we are not tied for priority. Let's look then that we are having to evaluate, we're going to have to evaluate 14 take away 7 times 2. Let's do 24, pardon me, take away 7 times 2. Alright? And let's be honest. Is there anyone in here, let's be honest, if I were to give you this question on your own to do, just without you having this knowledge, is there anyone here who would actually subtract before they multiply? You'll be tempted. It feel like a something anything, right? Honest, I appreciate your honesty. Now, if you do subtract before you multiply, you'll be breaking the rule. And PEMDAS is a rule that cannot be broken. So in this case, if you subtract before you multiply, you are going to be incorrect. Because according to PEMDAS, PEMDAS, M appears before S, and they are not tied, they're not connected. M and S are independent operations. The only operations that are tied are what? M and D, A and S. So that's correct. And that's when you have to start thinking, which one do I do first? But in this example here, where you have M clearly above the S, you have to subtract before you, you have to multiply before you subtract. So in this case, to evaluate this problem, it's going to be 24, take away the result of 7 times 4, 7 times 2. So 7 times 2 is what? 14, and 24 minus 14 is equal to what? 10. So when you work it out, guys, you're going to get an answer and will almost feel like it right. And you can say you are right, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't. If you said 7 from 24 is 17, and then 17 times 2 is 34, arithmetically you are correct. But you broke the rule. There's a rule that you have to follow. And that rule is the law of PEMDAS. You do exactly what PEMDAS tells you to do. You get it? Are we getting it? Are we getting it? Alright. Let's look at another example then that involves division.
Can you do one that involves everything?
Yeah, man, we're getting there, man. Building blocks. So much example there. Number 5. Yeah, man, by the time we reach number 10, we're going to have everything in one. Alright, number 5. Number 5. Yeah, so we have 15 plus 24 divided by 3. Almost anybody and everybody, when you give them this question without you teaching them, the temptation is almost like you can't avoid it. The temptation is that we just feel like we just need to add and divide. And let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. Okay? So you're tempted to add. You say 15 plus 24 is going to be 34. That's 39. Right? And 39 divided by 3 is 13. So arithmetically, you are correct. You added properly and you divided properly. The only thing that you did wrong is that you broke the rule. Because according to P, E, M, D, A, S, D clearly appears before A. And they are not tied for priority. So because they are not connected in any way, shape or form, no care what happens, D has to come. It almost come like, if you're going to KFC it, right? You're going to KFC it, and you're in the line, at the back of the line, and wait to get a little 3-piece chicken. I want a policeman just walk right in front of you and get through. This is an example of that. This is me, through me an ad. Him and D, because it's my division. He just walk right in front of me and get through. Because according to the law, a rule said that, you know, once, what they call it, like an official or so government workers walking at any business place, they can walk right in front of you and get through. That's a perfect demonstration of this question. Alright? So use those analogies to help you when you're working the question. Policeman and you might get through before you. Make sense? Question. Doctor.
It's not really a question, I'm just giving you
Comment. Yeah.
23.
The answer is 23. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm going to check it. Alright, so boom. That does work. So in this case here, my student over here said answer is 23. It's going to be 15 plus 24 divided by 3 is 8. And so 15 plus 8 is 23. Alright? Yes, comment, suggestion?
I was asking if M and D is connected.
Yes, M and D are connected. A and S are connected. So M and D are connected. A and S are connected.
So basically, what's connected is basically the opposite to what is there. So
Say that statement again. What is connected is?
basically the opposite of what is there. So basically like multiplication is the division and adding and etc. So it's the opposite.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Absolutely. That's a good observation. So, we've looked at 5 examples. We've looked at 2 examples that shows us how to evaluate when multiplication and division is in the same question. We've looked at two examples where addition and subtraction is in the same question. Let's put all four of them then together in one question. So we're going to evaluate 7 minus 15 divided by 3 plus 8 multiplied by 2. And you're asked to evaluate and show how you get to your answer. I'm not interested in your answer, I'm interested in your process to get into your answer. Now, I'm using this new technique, this new way of helping students. I use numbers. So when you look at the question, right, to the side, you can just simply write down your mnemonic here. To the side. And according to this, and according to the question, who would be number one?
Multiplication.
Okay, so in this case, remember division walking at the back before multiplication. So now it's going to be what? Division followed by multiplication. Remember, if M and D are in the same question, they are tied for priority. And that simply means who you see first or who you have to serve first. Get it? So M and D is in the same question, but D appears in front of M, so you have to divide, then you're going to multiply. So this would be your number 1, not true? Then this is going to be your what? Number 2, right? Then you're going to what? Subtract or add next? Come again. Who can come first? Subtract. 3. I know you're following PEMDAS, but remember that A and S are tied for priority. We're going to repeat that again and again and again and again. It's tied for priority, which means that whoever comes first, done first. Got it. That the answer? Hit me. 18. Anybody else get 18? Who's ahead of me? Alright, so she says it's 18. Let us see if it's true. 3, and then number 4 is what? Right here. Now, when we label it 1, 2, 3, 4, or you label it using letters, anything where you're not work out, write it back down. Anything that you're not evaluating, write it back down. So I'm not interfering with the 7 here. So I'm write down back my 7, not true?
Yes.
I'm write down back my minus sign, right? But then you're going to divide 15 by 3, and I'm going to get what? 5, not true? I'm not interfering with the 8 as yet, and I'm not interfering with the 2 as yet. So I've completed number 1.
Yes.
Number 2, according to our label, we're going to what? Multiply next. So now go write down back my what? 7. Write down back my what? 5. Write down back my what? Plus. Then we go multiply.
16.
So that's going to be 16. Not true?
Yes.
Number 2 is completed. Number 3, what did we say is number 3? We're going to subtract. So we have 7 take away 5 is what? 2, and 2 plus 16 is equal to what? 18. And that's how you get to your answer smooth. Okay? Yeah. So that's just one example. We're going to go through like about 2 more or so, just to make sure that we mix it up. Okay? Yes.
A picture of that?
Sure, of course. Sure. Remember, if you have a question or you have a query or you're not really sure about something and you're not very confrontational, like you don't want to be like voice yourself in the class, as we say, I'm always in the hallway or in my little cubicle. You can always just come to me to the side and show me that. So you wrote this question in the class, Get confused right here, so show me what you do again. More than willing to help, as I said. Because I do understand that there's some persons that are very introverted and they don't really like, like in the limelight. So I do want to assist you outside of the class if you're that type of person. Okay? Let's do another question. Mix it up a little bit. Let's do this then. Let's do 18 divided by 9 minus 3. Sorry, 18 divided by 9 minus 12 times 2 plus 11. Something like that. Alright? So in this question, we have 4 operations. We have division, we have subtraction, we have multiplication, and we have addition. And there has to be a specific order in which you do it. Okay? And that order, or what we're going to do first, will heavily depend on what PEMDAS is here. So let's label. Help me label.
18 divided by 9 would be number 1. That's the first
18 divided by 9 is number 1.
9 take away 12 would be number 3.
Hold on. This is number 1. 9 take away 12.
Would be number 3.
We're going to get number 2 yet.
Alright, number 2 would be 12 times 2.
Very good. Number 2 yet.
Number 3 would be 9 take away 12.
Well, it's going to be this section, whatever. It's not going to be 9 take away 12, but
Yeah,
it's going to be the result of number 1 take away 12.
Yes. And
Okay.
then the last one would be the result of 12 times 2
Plus
plus
11.
11.
Beautiful. Everybody catch that? Everybody? Okay? Alright. No. So let's do it. You say it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it in that exact order. So, anything we will now work out, you write it back down. Alright? Later on, when you become very advanced or much more efficient at the problem, you are going to reach to a level where you can actually do two things at the same time. But for now, we are rebuilding our fundamentals. We're going to work out in order, step by step. Okay? So 18 divided by 9, that's going to give us 2. And then we'll write down back my what? 12. Write down back my times what? 2. And write down back my plus what? 11. What did we label as number 2?
Number 2 is 12 times 2.
Very good. So that's going to be 2. Take away the result of 12 by 2, which is what?
24.
24 plus what?
11.
11. What did we label as number 3? Subtraction?
Yes.
Beautiful. So now we're going to go back to what we had learned in our last class where O and half come into play now. Because now this is 2 take away 24, which means that you have what? 2 and you owe me what? 24. So you pay me the 2 you have and you still owe me how much? So you still owe me 22 and then plus 11. And then label number 4 as plus. So now you owe me how much? 22 and you have how much? 11. So you pay me 11 but you have and you still owe me how much? And you still owe me 11. And that is the result.
I got confused at the last part.
Right here? Down here?
No, like,
Here? In this line or in this line?
the last line.
This line.
So the second to last line.
This line.
So
So we're subtracting. So it's a positive 2 from our last class.
So
I have 2
you have 2
and you owe me 24 because it's negative 24.
yes.
So you pay me the 2 that you have and you still have a balance for me.
So with that owe you 22.
That's correct. And then now you end up having $11 now. So you pay the 11 that you
So
have.
it's negative 22
Mhm.
plus 11.
Plus 11.
And then I'm going to get negative 11.
Negative
Yeah.
11. No. That is it. Right? Do we need one more together and then you can get 2 to try? One more for just marinate everything?
Definitely.
One more for marinate everything. One more. Marinate everything. So this question says 24 plus 9 multiplied by 3 take away 7 divided by 5. Again, you have to follow an exact rule, an order. That order is dependent upon what PEMDAS instructs you to do. So we're going to use our little numerical strategy that I'm using now that helps me to teach my students. What do I label as number 1?
The 9 times 3.
So I'm going to put number 1 right here. Alright? And the reason I will label, in our first 2 examples, realize that we've been dividing before we multiply. It is simply because division appeared in the question before multiply. In this example, multiply appeared before division, so now you're forced to multiply before you divide. So that's number 1. We'll do number 2.
7 divided by 5.
7 divided by?
5.
Alright, so I'm going to have to change this a bit. Tina may have made an error.
7 can be 10.
Yeah, let's do, perfect, let's do 10. But we want to make it easy. We don't want to like get any decimals. That's not what we're trying to achieve. We're not trying to, perhaps say, we're trying to get you to understand the process of what to do before what. So we want to make sure that the answer comes out nice. Okay? Number 2. Number 3.
24.
Divided by the result of this here, so that's number 3. And then number 4 is going to be here. Good. So we're going to do it in that exact order as we have labeled. Okay? So number 1, remember, anything that you're not evaluating, you write it back down. I'm not interfering with the 24, so that comes back down. However, I am multiplying here. So 9 multiplied by 3 is what? 27. Alright, and you can use a as I said, when you're doing it by yourself, it's okay to use your calculator, because there are some persons that may have, them timetable as advanced as it's supposed to be. So you always have an instrument beside you to help you to work these out. That's okay. 27. Take away 10 divided by what?
5.
5. Beautiful. Next.
Step 2.
10 divided by 5. So that's 24 plus 27.
Take away 2.
Take away the result of 10 divided by 5, which she said is what? 2. What if we name that number 3? Addition.
24 plus the
Plus 27. So that sounds like about what? 51? 51. So 24 plus 27 is 51. Take away 2, and your answer is 49. Okay? Smooth? Smooth. Smooth. So it is your turn. I'm going to give you 2 of these to try. I'm going to give you 2 of these to try to see where you're at. So try these. That's number 1, 2. So, first thing that I want to hear the answer. So after, okay, so we want to hear the answer. Okay, anybody wants to volunteer?
51.
51. Ooh, so my hand go down. 51. 53. Don't so much wrong. 60. I like the answer. 60. 60, 51. Alright, 60 is the answer actually. I worked out in my head before. So 60, let us see how you get 51. Alright? Let's see that. That's number 1. Alright, let's label. Where did you put your number 1?
My number 1 was the first one.
Right here, yourself. Number 2?
Yeah. Number 2 was 14 divided by 7.
Alright, number 3?
Number 3 would be the result of the first one.
Right here?
Yeah.
3, and then where?
The last one.
4. Is that how you label it?
Instead of 8, I had 1.
Oh, alright.
Oh, yes,
So
that,
Yeah,
that
you had one at
right.
first.
So you got 53.
that reached me. And
That reached you?
I want.
Yeah, you had one at
Alright,
first.
so for those who have one, your answer still right. If that was the question. The one that is on the board, the answer is 60. Alright, let us see now. Ready? So, 18 multiplied by 3 is how much? How much is that? 54?
Yes.
54.
Take away 14
Take away
divided by
14
7.
divided by 7 plus what?
8.
8. Next one, number 2.
14 divided by 7 is
That's
2.
54. Take away what? 2 plus what?
8.
8. Next one.
52 plus 8
Plus or minus?
plus 8
54 minus 2.
is 52.
54 minus 2. Is it plus? Is that what I heard?
54 minus 2
Right.
plus 8
Alright, so 54 minus 2 is what? 54 minus 2 is 52 plus 8, and our answer is what?
60.
60. Everybody good?
Yes.
Alright, good. What is the answer for number 2?
5.
5, negative? Alright, negative 5? 5? 5. Yeah, here one with 5, so that means the answer is going to get right. Alright, let's see now. What did you label as number 1?
Number 1 was 24 divided by 8.
Number 2?
Was the result of 24 and 8 times 5.
Very good. Number 3?
Was 3 plus the result of 24 and 8. And the last one is
Alright,
1.
good. Alright, so it mix up the order. Alright, that's fine. That's okay. It's a part of the learning process. Alright, so we're going to write 3
Plus
plus,
the result of 24 and 8.
that's 3 again,
And then you're going to
times 5 minus what? 8. Next. Oh, Jesus of mercy, 13. Crazy. Next.
You're going to do the second process.
This is here.
Yes.
Plus
which is
3
times
plus
5.
15. Take away what? 13. Alright, boom. Next is the add, right?
3 plus 15.
That's 18, take away what? 13, and that's equal to what?
5.
And that is how you get to your answer. Just it's not as hard as it appears to be, it just requires you to follow the order. Still
Sir,
confusing?
it's not confusing. I think the problem I had with my teacher before, she's not the type of person to sit down and go through and let you
Step by step.
understand. She's not the type of person, oh, one day research, one day, so that's
Oh,
what
one
the
year
teacher-
research?
Yes.
Oh. No, no, hold up on this thing. In a sense, you never do research, you do play. Alright? Anybody have any concerns? I don't want introverted people. Your cool friends are so quiet. So pretty and so quiet. Everybody cool? Alright, good. Alright, good. So we've gone through a series of examples, building blocks, building them up, then we combine all 4. But there's two things that we not forget, but we haven't added as yet. And that is when the parentheses and the exponent comes into play. So, ready for level 2? Let's move on to level 2. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a parenthesis in the question. Okay? So now we're going to look at, say, 20 take away 7 plus 9 minus 3 in brackets. So one at a time. Take care of the parentheses first. Alright, boom. So we have a problem here that we are not the one that inserted the parentheses. It came with the question. So now we have division, we have addition, we have parentheses, and it doesn't matter what is inside the parentheses. We're gonna have to work what is in there first. It doesn't matter. So even if you see division here, and you see subtraction here, don't be tempted to divide, because what is here has nothing to do with what is inside here. So you have to do whatever is inside here. You have to do whatever is inside here first. Okay? Alright, so let's label. Let's do our label. So what is number one? Where do we put number one? Above here? So right here, that's number one. So after we do the parentheses, it's gone. Then where's number two?
20 divided by 5.
Very good. 20 divided by 5, that's number two. Alright? And then that's going to go. Number three is going to be here. Number three, then where's number four? Number four. Okay, so these two will be number four. Okay, because they are both addition. So you cannot do them at the same time. There's no point in doing this, then do right on next line to do that. They're both add, so just add. Alright? Let's proceed. Boom. So we're gonna have 20. We're gonna have 20 divided by 5 plus the result of our number one, which is 6, right? Beautiful. Times 2 plus what? 11. Good, so our parentheses is gone. Next, we're going to be looking at number 2, which is going to be division, right? So 20 divided by 5 is what? 4. And 4 plus 6 times 2 plus 11, yes? Next. Number 3. Very good, 6 times 2. So that's 4 plus the result of 6 times 2, which is what?
12.
12 plus what? 11. Okay? Now we have both numbers to add, so there's nothing else to do except to add. So 4 plus 12 is what? 16, and 16 plus 11 is going to be 27. And that is our result. Alright, smooth as a silk. At least that's what I think.
Exponent. Can you do one with exponent?
Yeah, man, we're getting there, man. Building blocks, building blocks. So first we do an example with the parentheses, and then we want to put the exponent, and then we merge them together. Everybody cool? Everybody looks like they're cool. Now time check. Is it 11:10? Hold up. A cheap, watch out. Drop that.
Yes.
It's 11:10. It's watching them leave appointment all the time. Cheap stuff. I know there's a little bit of a twist when it comes to the parentheses. I'm going to show you another example involving it. Okay? Alright, so 15 minus 3 open bracket 4 take away 7. Hold on. So we have 18 divided by 3 open bracket 4 take away 7 take away 6 multiplied by 2 plus 9. Alright? So as long as it may seem as long as it may appear to be, we're going to still use our numerical technique that we're practicing. So we're going to label. According to PEMDAS, we know parentheses comes first, right? So we're going to put our number 1 right here. Where will we put our number 2?
Division.
Let me come inside. Right. Yes, division. That's not what I wanted to highlight, but that's fine. So yeah. So hold on. Wait a second.
Division. Division comes next.
Yes, sir. It's not multiple. I'm going to say divisions first.
Sir, division comes
No, sir,
next.
multiplication. Yeah. Division.
Because division is the first one in the equations, otherwise from the 10
From the
15.
Is multiplication more like the parentheses?
Because the parenthesis is still there.
Sir.
When you work out 4 take away 7, bracket means to multiply. And because the parenthesis is still there, you have not finished worked out what is there, you know. You worked out what is in the parentheses.
But sir, we never
And you have to multiply.
we never multiply the last one.
Come again?
No, it's because it's a sign.
But remember here, after you work out inside here, you
The
know.
first parentheses that we did
Over
not,
here?
Yeah, we did
But
not
that's
Because there was a plus here.
addition sign.
So there was a clear addition here.
Oh,
But this one, there is no sign there, it's just an indicated multiplication.
okay.
So once you work out what is inside the bracket, remember that whatever is outside the bracket is connected with what is inside the
But
bracket.
sir, don't we have to still find the answer for 18 and 3 in order to do that?
You have to complete the entire parentheses first.
Wait, so
Everything has to, the parentheses has to be completely gone.
So you multiply 3 and 4?
Yes, 3 and the result of what is in the parentheses. Let's do it. So 1,
But
and
sir,
then,
what become one negative number?
nothing wrong with that. Oh, you can't bother. So this is number 2, then this is going to be number 3. After division comes what? Well on. This is number 2, right?
Yes.
There's 2 number 2s.
Yes.
So there's a multiplication here, and there's one here. So
But
that's
that word comes first.
but this one comes first. Then we're gonna have a number what?
Number 3.
3, then what?
Number
Number
4.
4, then number what?
Number 5.
5. Alright? So I know it's a little confusing for some person. So let's go slow with this one. Alright? Number 1, we're gonna have 18, not true?
Yes.
Divided by 3. Put back the parentheses. Because you just have to work out what is inside it. So what is 4 take away 7? Negative 3. Because you have 4
I am both
and you owe 7 and you pay the 4 that you have and you still owe 3, right? So that's going to be minus 3. Remember that we understand, you know, that this, remember, so we understand that this means multiplication. But because the number outside is connected with whatever is on the inside, the parenthesis is not yet completed. So you have to done the parentheses completely and then you move on. That's the little trick with this question. So 3 bracket minus 3 take away 6 multiplied by 2 plus 9.
So sir, what are we going to do with the negative?
You're going to multiply now. So that's 18 divided by 3 times 3 is what?
9.
But it's negative, so it becomes negative 9. So that's 18 divided by the result here, which is negative 9. Take away 12 plus 9. Now remember, we're multiplying here and we're multiplying here. This is number 2 and number 2. Alright? Everybody with me? Have I lost anybody? Do I need to go back over the third line or second line or no? Yes? Yes? Yes. Give one yes. Again. So we establish, let us first understand, we establish that bracket implies multiplication. Remember that anything that is outside of the bracket is directly connected with what is on the inside. So when you work out what is on the inside, to finish it off, you have to connect it with what is on the outside. So you may be asking the question then, why didn't you connect it with the 5 here? Because there was a clear indication of a plus here. I will know say division come before plus. So there's no way that we could connect what is here with the 5. Because division and addition, they are not tied for priority. But over here, when we work out what is inside here, it's connected with the 3. So to complete the parentheses, we have to multiply what is on the outside by the result of what is on the inside. So then 4 take away 7, we have understand that from last class that we have 4 and we owe 7, pay the 4 that you have and you're still going to have a balance of 3 here. Next step is to work out the number 2's, which is the multiplication here and the multiplication here. So that's going to be 18 divided by the result of this multiplication. 3 times 3 is 9 and it's negative, so that's negative what? 9.
Take away
Take
12.
away the result of the next multiplication, which is what?
12.
12 plus what?
9.
9.
Sir, this is where I get confused now.
No problem. Put it on one bracket in and help yourself.
Negative 2, take
Negative
away
2.
12,
So negative
plus
2.
9.
Hold on, so help me. So
Negative
negative 2. Everybody understand why it's negative 2?
Yes.
18 divided by 9 is 2. So 18 divided by negative 9 is negative 2. Right? Take away what? 12 plus what?
9.
9. What do you believe as number 3? So we did that. This is number 3. What do you believe as number 4? Subtraction.
Yes.
So if you owe me 2
And you have to.
and you owe me 12,
But sir, there's a negative sign in front of the 12.
right? So you owe me 2
And you owe
and you owe me
12.
12. So much you owe me now?
14.
Huh?
So we're gonna add it?
Yeah. So that we discussed in the last class.
Oh,
huh?
yes.
That we learned last class. You owe 2 and you owe 12 more, so you owe 14.
So what we're gonna do now is subtract.
Right, we're going to
Instead of
subtract already.
add.
No, you're going to add now.
Why would I add?
Yeah, there's no subtraction
Because
here.
it's saying we said we have 9 and we owe 14.
Right, so it's the same thing. Yeah, yeah. If that's what you're saying, yeah, yeah. So you're going to subtract. If that's what you want to look at it as. To me, this is just adding a positive to a negative. So if I owe 14 and I have 9, and you pay the 9 where you have, how much you still owe me? Don't freeze up on me. Come on, don't do that. If you owe me 14 and you have 9,
But sir, I'm confused.
All right,
Am I
wait.
supposed to add or subtract?
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It
though?
doesn't. If you subtract, what are you going to get? Because you're talking to me now. If you subtract, you're going to get negative 5. And if you add, you're going to get negative 5. So either way you do it, you're going to
Add
get
that,
the
let me get negative 5.
same. Add this here.
Add 14 and 9.
This is not 14.
Negative
That's
14.
negative 14. So if you're talking about 14 plus 9 is 23, okay. 14 plus 9 is 23, okay. But that's not 14, this is negative 14. So you owe me 14 and you're going to pay the
So
9 you have.
I'm going to end up with a positive number.
No,
a negative number.
Negative number, so it's negative 5. Now here how you do it. Even if you turn it around and say 9 take away 14, it's still negative 5. Alright? Yeah. Not so get nice now, not true?
No.
What do you mean?
No, it's actually nice for you.
Absolutely nice. It's getting there, it's getting there. Alright? Alright people. We just feel like you want one more.
Yeah.
Together? No? Feel like you want one more together. Alright, let's do one more together. One more together. With the same thing, right? With the same bracketing here? Alright. Stress myself out, alright, too fast. Alright, so the question is 23 take away 9 plus 6 open bracket 7 take away 4 divided by 3 times 3. What is our number 1? Where is our where are we going to put number 1? Right here? Right above the 7 times 4. Where are we going to put our number 2s?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, where are where? Right or so?
Yes.
Not sure?
And
And then, right or so? Because a 2 multiplication, that's it. Alright? Alright, boom. After that, then what?
Division.
Division. Number 3. Then what?
Subtraction.
Very good. Number 4. Then what? Number 5. Beautiful one. Alright? Leave it like that. Let's do it. Just as we labeled it.
7 take away
23.
4.
Take away 9 plus 6. Open bracket, which we know is times. But we put the bracket there. 7 take away 4 is 3.
Close bracket.
Close bracket divided by
3.
3 by 3. Alright? Next, we're not finished with the parentheses. So we're going to complete it now. 23 take away what? 9 plus what? 18 divided by 9. So we multiply here and we multiply here because those are the two number 2's. Not you? Number 3. Division.
23.
That's 23.
Take away 9.
Take away 9 plus
18.
2.
Oh,
That's okay. So take away 2. So 23 take away 9 plus the result of what you labeled as number 3, which is 2. Next, number 4. Subtraction. So that's 23 take away 9, that sounds like 14. And 14 plus 2 is equal to what? 16. And that's where you get to your answer. Okay? So you do it like that, you're always going to get very, very close to your result. Alright? Give me a time check. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So I can give you one like this to try? Come on, let's finish it up. Hold on. Yeah, of course. How about this, guys? Huh? Alright, so how about it? Remember, let's label them 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And follow the rule. Yes. Take off. Yes, correct. Alright, boom. So after we do the parentheses, now we're going to do our multiplication, right? Number 2 and number 2. So that's going to be 3 take away. What is 6 multiplied by negative 4?
Negative 24.
Oh, your facial expression. Look at one face over like that. Did I do something wrong? No? So 5 take away 9 is negative 4. I'm right back everything else. Then I'm now here. I'm at number 2 here and here. So that's 3 take away the result of this.
Which is
The result of this is what?
24.
Negative 24. Not true?
Divided by 8.
Divided by what? 8 plus what? 14. Right? Everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Alright, boom. Now we looked at this last class, right? When you have a negative clashing with a negative, not true?
Oh.
So we know that what?
Positive.
Positive. So you see, we learn last class about floating. Alright, so it's going to end up being a plus. However, we're still at the division. So that's going to be what? 3, what?
Negative 6.
Plus.
24.
Okay, you have to deal with the clash, remember? You have to deal with the clash. We said that, right? Okay, so that's going to be 3
Plus.
plus the result of this. What is 24 divided by 8? 24 divided by 8 is...
2. Negative 2.
Come again. 3.
Oh.
So that's 24 divided by 8 is 3 plus what? 14. Then now you said number 4 is what? Subtraction, but because of the clash, it turns to a what?
Addition.
Plus. So now everything with us add. So 3 plus 3 is what? 9. Oh, not that verse. Sorry. 6. Oh God. 3 plus. Oh gosh. 3 plus 3 is what? 6. And 6 plus 4 is what? 6 plus 14 is what? 20. The clash, right?
Oh, I saw an arrow.
The clash catcher. Alright. It's supposed to. We're not going to write a question, guys, that can make us get it right. I'm going to get you to think. Okay? So this part, I didn't warn you was coming. And I'm telling you, whatever you learned in the classes before is going to keep coming back. So you can't forget it. Okay? Last one, because I know you guys are tired. That's a lot. So last one. What is our number 1? Parentheses. I invite a double friend. Number 1. Oh, different color. Oh. Number 1. Not true? Where's number 2? Or 2s?
Multiplication.
Here and here. Here. Where's number 3s? 3. Then what? 4. Then 5. Very good. So let's do what we have to do then. Number 1. 13 plus 2. Put back the bracket. I don't want to put that times. It's up to you. That's fine. That's going to be what? 6
close bracket times
5 divided by 6. Take away what? 17. Whoa, where's number 2's? Straight in the middle, yes, sir.
Multiplication.
So that's going to be 13
plus
plus 12. As a matter of fact, let's multiply everybody. You don't need to say 2 times 6 is 12 and then 12 times 5.
Yeah.
2 times 6 times 5. So 2 6 is what?
12.
12 and 12 times 5 is what? 60.
Oh.
Straight multiplication, not true?
Yeah.
Bracket means to multiply and both of our 2's are beside each other. So that's 2 times 6 times 5, which is 60. Divided by what? 6. Take away what? 17. Where's our number 3? Division. So that's 13 plus what? 10. Take away what? 17. Then you said your number 4 is what? To add? So that's 13 plus 10 is what? 23. Take away what? 17. And your final answer is going to be what? 6. Alright? This class was recorded and you can find it back on my YouTube channel over the weekend. Okay? Alright, that's it. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Class ends are up. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, so you can watch it back, okay? Just in case you need a review.
So what's the
Oh, you don't have it?